divisions down and 6 to go. You have clicked on the NFC North predictions. Hello, everybody. I'm Jake Turner for Turner's Takes. The passion for sports never ends at the buzzer here. Well, let's just get right into it here, folks, because we're doing pretty good on time here. We saved ourselves 7 seconds off the last post. Here we go. Let's start off with the Super Bowl champions who are defending their crown this year, the Green Bay Packers. They took down the Pittsburgh Steelers in a rousing 12-round bout, it looked like, at Arlington, Texas last year, 31-25. Now this year, folks, they got a lot more depth here than people are thinking, and that is why I am going to give them the rare record that I cannot believe I'm doing this. This is the first time they've done this since 1998, 13-3. Now, I know that every NFL fan that's not a Packer fan just went, what? Let me finish at what is happening here. They had a fantastic draft. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than this. Well, I got an offensive tackle and Derek Sherrod out of Mississippi State. They got a wide receiver, Randall Cobb, out of Kentucky, which I was hearing is fast as hell, and that's what they definitely need on the kick return. A kick return specialist and a slot receiver will do the trick there. We also had some interesting picks here out of the preseason. There is a linebacker out there named Vic So'oto. In the last game against the Chiefs, against the starting offense, this kid had a sack and a half, an interception for a touchdown, 30 yards, and the kid just wouldn't stop coming after him. He took on Barry Richardson, an offensive tackle who he at least has 85 pounds on him, and he was pushing him around like a rag doll. It was nothing for him. So be on the lookout for him as well. And don't forget, folks, Aaron Rodgers, 3,922 yards last year, 28 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. The pass offense was ranked 5th in the NFL. And you know what Rodgers says, the best is yet to come. And I absolutely agree. Everybody's coming back. There's nobody on the IR this time except for one, Shaky Smithson. Not really a big deal, though. But Ryan Grant's returning. He feels good. He thinks that there's going to be a lot of good things to happen to this team this year. All the wide receivers are back. They're going to have a lot of weapons here. And not to mention, they got some good wide receivers off the practice squad. Don't forget, if you see one of these two wide receivers, trust me, you'll be in for a treat. Torrey Gurley or Chasten West. Just keep those names in mind. Keep them in mind. Going in the defense here, had a 5th-ranked pass defense last year. Only gave us 16 touchdowns. It took 24 interceptions, 47 sacks. They were 5th in the NFL in that. And they were one of the 4 teams with 45 sacks or more. Allowed 6 rushing touchdowns. I don't know how much else to say, folks. The only issue I have with them is the offensive line. We'll see what TJ Lang could do in the left guard. They lost Darren College and Jason Spitz to free agency. And we'll see what Mike McCarthy has in mind for this one. But I'm going to take the Packers 13-3. And I think Rodgers is going to get the MVP this year. Let's move on to our not surprising dark horse here. But I'm going to do it here, folks. I saw a lot out of this team last year. They won 4 straight to finish out the season at 6-10. This one, folks, they're going to flip the script this time. They're going to go 10-6 to the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions got Matthew Stafford coming back here. Even though he was injured last year, Sean Hill and Drew Stanton combined for 3,810 yards, 26 touchdowns. Johnson, Burleson, and Titus Young, their draft pick, he's going to be thrown in that slot receiver position. We'll see what we can do with them. Brandon Pettigrew, got to think about him. Tony Scheffler's had a good preseason, getting his minutes in, doing a lot of good things for this team. They 26 touchdowns, 16 interceptions last year. That's pretty impressive. 11 rushing touchdowns, and Javid Best wasn't even in the lineup for more than 8 games this year. I'm telling you, folks, MOTOWN is buzzing about the Detroit Lions, and Jim Schwartz is starting to show his knack for defense in this game. They have gotten better over the years, but however, the pass defense was 16th last year, 24th ranked rush defense. 23 touchdowns given up, 43 sacks though. You heard that right, folks. A Detroit Lions defense had 43 sacks. Now, not to mention your Kyle Van Den Bosch was out for the last 4 games of the season, came back for the last 2, however, but that was a big loss for them. Ndamukong Suh was doing everything he could, and also I want you to watch out for this defensive end off the right side. Cliff Averill, he is a force to be reckoned with. As Chad Clifton that question last year against the Packers at Detroit. Not to mention, folks, set your schedules. I'm telling you, folks, Ford Field is getting Monday Night Football in October, and they're going to be playing the Chicago Bears. It's MOTOWN versus the Windy City, and I know the Detroit Lions do not want to be embarrassed on national television. Believe in this team, and yes, they will take the wild card spot. I'm telling you, I believe in this team, and I really think they could be a force here. But we've seen Detroit Lions expectations before. This could blow up in my face, but I'm going to give them a chance. They got everything they need. They're ready to go here. This is a chance to really make something happen. Detroit Lions 10-6. Moving on now to third place, and I'm going to give it to the Minnesota Vikings. Now the Vikings last year 6-10, a dreadful season last year. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything worse for Viking fans. I mean, went through 3 different quarterbacks, could not get the job done, and Adrian Peterson was unfortunately not used to their advantage because of Brad Childress's inconsistent coaching. But when Leslie Frazier took over, Adrian Peterson went wild. And that's why he is the #1 fantasy running back for a reason. Now, think about this, folks. 16 touchdowns by himself. 16! He is a power back. He is a speedster. This guy has every intangible ready and asset to the Minnesota Vikings rushing game. Not to mention they got Toby Gerhart, who's pretty good on the screen pass. But not only that, who's good on the option? Adrian Peterson. Peterson is a force to be reckoned with. But I can't say that about Donovan McNabb anymore. Donovan McNabb is just not where he was 3 years ago. He's just not there. Here was the problem last year with the Vikings quarterbacks. 14 touchdowns, 26 interceptions. Youch. That's not a good one there. Their overall offense was 23rd, 26th ranked pass offense. That will stay in the top 25. The rush offense, however, they're going to be pounding the rock so many times to Peterson here that they're going to start becoming predictable. And I will say that the Vikings will have the 5th best rush offense of the year. Defense. Went on and got Mike Singletary as their linebackers coach. He's going to do some good things with the long 5-year extension contract man, Chad Greenway. Greenway's going to do some things. E.J. Henderson's going to do some things. This is EJ's make or break year. And be on the lookout for his brother. His brother is playing on the team, and he could do some things as well. Now, the defensive line is the big question. No, I'm just kidding. Secondary is the question. Year by year, this is the big question. Can Asher Allen, Cedric Griffin, can they get the ball rolling? Can they actually start defending the pass? Can they get the deep ball rolling here? I just don't see it. Even though the pass defense is ranked 10th, this defense was ranked 8th last year. Pretty good for a 6-10 team. I'll give them one more win because Detroit will be tough. But I will say this for a fact. The good news is they got Chicago, and we know how bad Chicago plays in the Metrodome. By the way, the Dome is looking pretty nice after they remodeled the top of it, and there could be some excitement in Minnesota. But hey, folks, even though I'm saying 7-9, the Vikings could surprise. Remember, this is former Bears great Leslie Frazier as the coach. So 7-9 for the Vikings for now. Oh, and by the way, one more update here. Christian Ponder was named the backup to Donovan McNabb. That was a great move by the Vikings. That's their future. They're doing exactly what they should be doing. Packers did with Aaron Rodgers. McNabb is a good quarterback. He's just on the end of a father time when it comes to the NFL. Moving on now, finally, to my surprise, and I know I'm going to be hated by every Bear fan alive. I am going to give the Bears a 5-11 record, folks. And I think everybody just spit out their coffee, threw their phones out the window, and are looking for Steve Bartman. Well, that's the Cubs. But the Bears are about to be cursed this year. Last year, I thought that was an absolute fluke. And this is coming from an unbiased analyst. I'm just saying. Just saying, they snuck into the playoffs. They won the North. The Packers had more problems with the IR. The Bears didn't. However, they still had that crybaby, Jay Cutler. 23 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Minor improvement. Bad news for Bear fans, though. Matt Forte and the Bears broke off negotiations today, so Matt Forte will probably be playing about 60% of his effort because he wants to get paid. He was supposed to get paid $15 million a year. They said no, and the talks broke down. Now, however, Johnny Knox is still a deep threat. I still think that, big loss with Desmond Clark and Greg Olsen, that is going to hurt. I mean, literally hurt the Chicago Bears passing game. Matt Spaeth is a good backup tight end for the Steelers, but if the Steelers didn't want him, why would the Bears? Now, we also go to defense here. This is a major disaster in the secondary right now. No, Daniel Manning got traded to the Texans. Now they have to go get out a young kid out of there. There's going to be a lot of issues. Lance Briggs is whining and complaining for the third straight year. He wants a raise. Tommy Harris is gone. They don't know what they're going to do with the D-line. Yes, they have Julius Peppers. Yes, they have Brian Urlacher. But this is the wrong time to be thinking building blocks here, folks. This is Lovie Smith. This is Jerry Angelo's hot seat year. What I've been seeing is nothing but recyclables from the Bears. Marion Barber, Roy Williams, Sam Hurd, and even, for the love of God, disgruntled safety for the Patriots, Brandon Merriweather. If you got a recyclable, come to the Bears. They love to recycle. And that's exactly what I'm going to give them, that 5-11 record. And Jay Cutler, you need to prove to me that you are a leader, because I did not see it in the NFC Championship. Woo! I tell you what, folks, boy, I just get really passionate when it comes to the NFC North. But there you go, folks. Green Bay 13-3, Detroit 10-6, 7-9 Minnesota, and Chicago 5-11. But I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt. Vikings could be better than what I am predicting. But if you have an opinion, comment on the bottom or go to my Facebook page, Turner's Takes. Until next time, this is Jake Turner. The passion for sports never ends at the buzzer.